Hello my dear friends, welcome to all of you on my channel The Fight Yourself. In the aftermath of the tragic Baltimore bridge collapse, all 22 crew members aboard the Dali ship, identified as Indian nationals, were reported safe. However, concern persists for the 6 individuals who fell into the water during the incident and remain missing. President Biden addressed the unfolding crisis, emphasizing the urgency of the situation. Baltimore bridge collapses after ship collision, mass casualties feared. The Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed in Baltimore after a container ship collided with it. According to media reports, the vessel struck the bridge around 1:30 a.m. on Tuesday, igniting a fire before sinking. Authorities have labeled the incident as a developing mass casualty event. Livestream footage reveals moment of Baltimore bridge collapse amid ship collision. A livestream captured the ship turning before colliding with one of the bridge's 2 central pylons at 1:28 a.m. According to the timestamp, within roughly 20 seconds, the entire stretch visible in the video collapsed into the water, with some parts falling onto the ship's bow. The camera recording the livestream belongs to Bay Area Mechanical Services, as stated by the Stream Time Live YouTube channel hosting the footage. Baltimore Fire Department mobilizes dive and rescue team in response to bridge collapse emergency. Kevin Cartwright, Baltimore City Fire Department's communications chief, characterized the event as an evolving mass casualty incident, stating, "The dive and rescue team has arrived on scene to locate the individuals." He emphasized the urgency of the situation, noting that emergency services are actively engaged in efforts to rescue and recover those who may have fallen into the water, stressing, "This is a dire emergency." Maryland governor declares emergency, mobilizes federal aid for bridge collapse. Maryland Governor Wes Moore declared a state of emergency on Tuesday morning, as confirmed by his press secretary. Mr. Moore stated, "We are working with an interagency team to quickly deploy federal resources from the Biden administration," and noted ongoing communication with U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. The Maryland Transportation Authority has scheduled a press conference for 7 a.m. "This is a tragedy that you can never imagine," expressed Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott. Describing the collapse as resembling scenes from an action movie, he urged the public to remain focused on the ongoing rescue operations and support the families of those missing. Baltimore police: no evidence of intentional collision in bridge collapse incident. Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley stated that there is absolutely no indication that the vessel intentionally struck the bridge. Aerial view of the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge. An aerial view of the bridge reveals the extensive damage, with sections of the collapsed segment submerged in the water, while a smaller portion rests atop the Dali container ship. White House issues statement. President Biden briefed. The president has been briefed on the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore and the ongoing search and rescue efforts. He will continue to receive updates from his team throughout the day, the White House said in a statement. Search intensifies for missing road repair crews. Key Bridge collapse labeled catastrophic. Maryland officials reported that rescue teams were scouring the waters for road repair crews who were on the Key Bridge during its collapse early. Paul J. Wiedefeld, Maryland's transportation secretary, described the incident as a catastrophic collapse, confirming the presence of individuals on the bridge when it was struck by a container ship around 1:30 a.m. FAA enforces no-fly zone to aid aerial rescue efforts at Key Bridge collapse site. The Federal Aviation Administration has implemented a no-fly zone in the vicinity of the Key Bridge to facilitate ongoing aerial search and rescue operations by emergency responders. Multiple helicopters have been deployed to survey the bridge and surrounding areas for several hours. Additionally, the FAA has cautioned against the use of drones in the area. Port of Baltimore traffic halted amid bridge collapse concerns. Following concerns regarding the potential shutdown of the Port of Baltimore, officials confirmed the suspension of traffic to and from the port, although truck processing continues. The bridge collapse is expected to have significant repercussions for the region. Maryland governor addresses concerns and expresses solidarity amid bridge collapse tragedy. Maryland Governor Wes Moore assured the public that there is no credible evidence of a terrorist attack. Expressing solidarity with the families of the victims, he acknowledged their profound grief, yet affirmed the resilience of the state and city by stating, "We are Maryland tough, and we are Baltimore strong." 8 construction crew members feared to have fallen into water after bridge collapse, 6 still missing. According to Paul Wiedefeld, Maryland's transportation secretary, 8 people, all members of a construction crew tasked with filling potholes, are presumed to have fallen into the water during the collapse. As of now, 6 of them remain missing. Governor Wes Moore cargo ship crew reports power loss leading to bridge collapse. Maryland Governor Wes Moore stated that according to the cargo ship's crew, they experienced a power loss around the time of the collision with the bridge, resulting in its collapse. Cargo ship crew all 22 members Indian nationals, no injuries reported. All 22 crew members aboard the cargo ship that collided with the Key Bridge in Baltimore are Indian nationals. The Singapore-flagged container ship, named Dali, struck the bridge around 1:30 a.m. local time. As reported by PTI, the Synergy Marine Group confirmed that the crew consisted entirely of Indians. The group also stated, all crew members, including the 2 pilots, have been accounted for and there are no reports of any injuries. There has also been no pollution. Maryland governor declines to specify timeline for port operations, cites focus on saving lives. Maryland's governor refrained from providing a timeline for the return to normal port operations, emphasizing that the exclusive focus is on saving lives, search and rescue. Mayday call enables evacuation attempt before Key Bridge collapse. A Mayday call enabled officials to stop traffic at both ends of Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge and try to evacuate people from the span before it collapsed on Tuesday, according to several federal and Maryland officials. The crew of the large container ship leaving the port of Baltimore told Harbor Control that they had lost power and propulsion, the officials said. Maryland governor stresses long-term commitment to Key Bridge reconstruction. Maryland Governor Wes Moore emphasized that the reconstruction of the Key Bridge will be a long-term endeavor during a press conference. He assured, "We are going to get this done. We are going to rebuild in a way that remembers the people this tragedy has impacted." President Biden mobilizes federal resources for Baltimore incident response. U.S. President Joe Biden has addressed the Baltimore incident, revealing that he convened senior members of his staff for a briefing. "I've directed my administration to ensure every federal resource is available to assist search and rescue efforts in response to this terrible incident," he expressed on X. President Biden addressed the bridge collapse from the White House, emphasizing that the Coast Guard, along with Baltimore and Maryland officials, is leading the response effort. He underscored that the recovery operation is ongoing, characterizing the incident as a terrible accident, as reported by New York Times. "I know every minute in that circumstance feels like a lifetime." Biden empathized with those awaiting updates on the missing individuals. He reiterated that the search and rescue operation remains the administration's top priority. President Biden expressed his intention to visit Baltimore as quickly as I can, without providing a specific timeline. He also stated his expectation that the federal government would cover the entire cost of rebuilding the bridge, urging Congress to support funding for the repairs.